And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for yourself.
We are the last Americans. We are the last Americans. We are the last
Yo,
Americans.
yo! What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show
brothers.
live on Rumble.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
We got Greg live from the car. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm live from the minivan, baby.
Yeah, he's up in
Dude.
Where are you at?
Birmingham, right? Or whatever.
It is the it's like the coat factory.
Oh,
What is that? The Birmingham coat factory?
Burlington.
Burlington.
Burlington. That's where I'm at, dude.
Okay. He's at the coat factory. That's good, man.
Yeah, dude. Like, so the coats around here are so fucking awesome.
Yeah, man.
Like, I can't believe how good
The
coats
abundance of coats, man. They always have so many coats.
So many coats.
But
Yeah.
you're not moving this time, so your service is better. You know what I'm saying? I can hear you.
I'm hoping.
You're looking good.
I'm hoping. Yeah, I was in the hotel room, but like my kids were gonna go swimming, and then they immediately came back,
Oh,
and they're like, "Yeah, there's too many people in the pool." So I'm like, "Okay,
all
I'll
right.
go out to the car."
Car it is, man. Well, guys,
Car it is.
we obviously haven't had a show since everything went down,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
It's been a pretty wild couple days.
Well, a lot of shit's gone down, honestly.
Well, yeah, it's been a busy weekend. You know what I'm
for
saying?
sure.
And then now
Yes.
Monday, it's kind of topped it off, man. We obviously have the RNC convention
Yeah,
happening.
Trump is there right now.
Trump is
and
there.
apparently the speech he was going to be giving in a couple days, he's actually going to give tonight.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
From what I understand.
Well, didn't he change it all up too? Because he was gonna he changed it all about uniting America. Now that's his thing.
Yeah, he said he had a full speech already written, and after the assassination attempt, he scrapped the whole thing, and they wrote a whole new one.
Okay. Fair enough, dude. That's
So
cool.
yeah,
Do you buy that though? Do you buy that? Do you think
That he wrote a
actually
new
did
one?
scrap it?
yeah, probably.
Do I buy it? Yeah,
Okay.
I buy it.
I
buy it.
imagine after experiencing something like that, you probably have some different choice words you want to use.
Well, obviously, guys.
He's like, shit.
Yeah.
Now I don't want to get shot again, so I gotta.
I mean,
change up my verbiage.
yeah, I definitely want to get into the JD Vance stuff. He obviously announced
yeah.
JD Vance as
Yep.
his VP pick. That was on the short list that we had talked about. I really don't know that much. I really haven't followed much. I learned a little bit today, and I'm sure you guys may have some more info
About Vance.
about Vance. But I want to start with the take real quick because we haven't broke down the shooting and the assassination.
And there's been a lot of shit coming out just in the last couple of days about it. Like what other people have looked at, and like different videos
together.
from different perspectives of people. And
I think it's actually a good thing that we didn't, because I called both you guys. Right, my wife actually called me when I was getting ready to leave work, and she's like, "I'm at Ace Hardware, and some dude just showed me a video of Trump getting shot and falling," and I was like, "What the fuck?" And I looked it up because I was like, I don't know if I believe this, right? And there was nothing. There was no articles, nothing about it because it had just happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, this must be a hoax, right? This has got to be a hoax. But then immediately the Twitter feeds just started blowing up.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I called both you guys.
Yeah.
I was like, do you have any idea what's going on? Because this shit's crazy. Yeah, it's a fucking wild scenario.
yeah, and I was doing landscaping shit. So, and when you called me, I was like just coming inside for a beer,
Yeah.
and I was like, "What? Wait, what the fuck's going on?"
Yeah, you were. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I was busy carrying a bunch of soccer equipment over to the boys' freaking tent, and I'm like, dude, I can't pick up the goddamn phone right now. And I saw it was Dave. I'm like, Dave called me.
Yeah.
He never calls me. I was like, what's this all about? And you're like, dude, Trump just got shot, in the head. I'm like, the mortal head wound, dude. The fucking Antichrist it's already started.
Well, you got to understand that when I called you guys, it had happened literally minutes before.
Yeah.
And so the video that I did see was gunshots, grabbing his head and hitting the ground.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
Dude,
at that point when we all
Yeah.
kind of got privy to what was going on, that wasn't just all all of a sudden everyone knew it was only the ear.
Yeah. Well, so the reason I brought all this up, the reason that I say all this is because there is something good about waiting a little bit, right? It lets it
for sure, dude.
slow down. I think that when
I'm in the same boat,
right?
Like because there were so many people just like, we have to go live now. And I'm like, dude, you don't know anything. Like,
we knew
there's
nothing.
3 different people that got identified as the shooter all on the same day. I'm like, so which guy is the shooter? Is it this Thomas Crooks guy, or is it this fucking Violet?
Well,
guy,
I think it was actually. I think it was confirmed that it was the Thomas kid, the 20-year-old kid.
Yeah, the FBI. Yeah, the FBI confirmed.
So, but yeah, to your point, Greg. Like, the only thing that, and to be fair, in this situation, right, when a president gets shot, I think it's fair to say that, like, jumping on right away just to let out your feelings, because we've talked about this. There's a lot of feelings behind an assassination attempt. Now, luckily, he was not hurt, but it was real fucking close, man. Like, it was.
Well, a chunk of his ear's missing, Dave.
I know, man.
Yeah, he's at the
How's he
RNC.
gonna survive?
He's at the RNC tonight with a huge bandage over his ear.
Yeah.
I want to see that missing ear chunk, though. I want to verify that.
He's got that the Holyfield fucking ear, dude. You know what I'm saying? He's got that fucking Mike Tyson 2.0.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, dude, let's break this down, dude.
I'd love to break this down.
What do you guys think happened? What do you think? Let's start with the official narrative, the official story.
Yeah.
Like, what happened?
I mean, for me, after analyzing a bunch of different videos, listening to liberals, Republicans, the whole nine, giving their 2 cents. First of all, I'm not really buying any of the conspiracies behind it. You know what I'm saying? Most of it, that a lot of people on the left are saying that he perpetrated this, and this was all a big setup by the Trump campaign to promote his campaign. I've heard that. And if you guys
feel like he wanted to get shot, like that's what they're saying.
That it was a staged event on behalf of Trump. Now, I mean, if you guys want to, we can all just, kind of throw out what people are saying and analyze it that way. But
let's look at why they would say that. Well, so why would they say it was staged?
The main reason I heard why people thought it was staged is because he took so long to get off the stage, and he stood up and raised fist to the crowd. Everyone I was seeing saying this is fake was like that wouldn't normally happen.
Well, yeah, that's what I've heard, that like Secret Service, there's no fucking way they'd let him bob his head out of the middle of that circle. There's no way they would do that, right?
But
so that's one reason where they're saying, dude, that's not right, for one, and then 2, they're saying like the photo opportunities, it was just so perfect, and like he just got grazed, like he didn't actually get injured, so it's like it seemingly looked like he could have even just cut his ear, you know what I mean?
But
had some fake blood, pro wrestling, all
but
that
at
shit.
the same time, I mean, they also already knew at that point that they had already killed the shooter.
They had announced that on stage.
Yeah, they had already
but they didn't know there could have been another shooter.
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
How do you know that there's just one guy on the roof? Like, you don't know who else is out there with a gun. And that's my whole thing, is like, with Secret Service, you keep them covered and you keep them down until you clear the whole perimeter. And that could take, half an hour. I don't know.
Oh, and you guys see the videos of the chick that was there working as a Secret Service agent?
Oh, they're terrible.
Like,
so bad.
Fucking awful.
Like,
so
the
bad.
one chick, there was one, like, taller chick that was doing, like, what she's supposed to be doing. She was, like, covering her with as much as body as she could, like, doing all this shit.
Yeah.
And even when they got back to the truck, she was, like, gun drawn, fucking watching her six.
Seemed competent.
And then the other one, the shorter one, was, like, looked terrified the whole time.
Dude, all
and
of
then,
them did. Honestly, when I saw all of them jumping around like that, the Beast, is that what Trump put it into?
Yeah.
Everyone looked frazzled and they didn't really know what they were doing. And I'm like, he just got shot. So
the moment, my what the fuck moment on the Secret Service part of it was when they were putting him into the Beast or the limo or whatever. And the one shorter chick was there right by the door, and she missed her holster like 3 times.
Oh yeah, she couldn't hold
it. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. The other girl was like really composed about putting her glasses back on. She was
I gotta look professional.
So see, when you look at that, you could argue to Greg what your point was a few minutes ago, where you said the Secret Service would have never let him poke his head through, and could they have been in a kind of incompetent Secret Service group? Is it even the real fucking thing? Because there's a lot of people saying that he's not even allowed to have the full budget of
I heard that
Service.
too. Where I think my dad actually told me that he had read that he doesn't actually have the full budget of Secret Service until he is the nominee.
Yeah. So to that,
I don't
Even
know.
though he's an ex-president?
I don't know
Yes.
how true that is.
well, they can assign, like, you can get approved for Secret Service. I think Trump has some approval, but they were talking about the fact that because his rallies are literally like a nightmare for Secret Service, right? Because they're so big, always in fields, always buildings around, that he doesn't have enough Secret Service. Now, I only say that to bring up the fact of what you just said, which is an argument. The Secret Service wouldn't have let him do that. However, you're also talking about Trump, and Trump is a man amongst boys. You know what I'm saying? As far as
Dude, he has a huge target on his back.
well, he
yeah,
does.
sure.
He has a huge target already.
Yeah, I'm talking about more of like, how do you tell him no? Like, it's, you know, like when they're bear hugging him, he's like, "Where's my shoes? I'm gonna fuck him."
Oh, yeah.
fight. Like, you're gonna just be like, "Stop it, Trump!" Like, you're not gonna tell him to stop. He's
And
gonna
that's
do
the
what
other
he's
thing.
gonna
That's
do,
the other
man.
thing. I was like, why are your shoes
guess.
off?
I don't know, man.
Like, what? How did
He's comfy, dude. He wants to get comfy.
did
up
he?
there.
Does
He's
he
like,
take his
"Fuck."
shoes off when he's standing at the podium?
No, he doesn't, because we watched it. We were standing behind the podium with him. Remember?
But why would his shoes be off?
Well, listen,
Maybe it was really hot out. He's like, this feels fucking good. Take off these little, you know what I mean?
I'm guessing that he
Did
fell.
they
to the ground.
tackle his shoes off?
They fell to the ground, and when they were jumping on him, I'm sure they were moving around and stuff, and maybe they came.
Well, that
Who
makes
knows?
him better than Biden
Yeah.
already, because Biden wouldn't survive that tackle.
No, he wouldn't have.
That's true.
So to the
Dude, he's
point.
probably gonna sell those shoes. I bet you. He'll be like, the Trump shoes I was wearing during the assassination attempt, $120 per shoe.
Assassination shoes.
Come on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Stained with the blood of freedom.
Yeah, the freedom blood.
Listen,
But as far as like inside job goes, dude,
yeah.
I think this was all a shit show. Like, there's no way. I've heard guys who were like ex-military, ex-snipers for like 17 years, 20 years. They're saying, you go there before the rally and like days, weeks, months, and you secure the whole area and go, okay, that's a weak point. That's a vantage point for a sniper. And you get all of that layout way ahead of the rally.
Yes.
And this was like the rooftop, the closest to President Trump. And there's no fucking way that they wouldn't have that secured.
Yep.
And then you have like this video footage of the snipers like looking at the guy, which I can get. Like, people are commoding over there. They're saying, this guy's got a gun. He's got it on the roof, you know? And like, so they're probably like, what? So I could see how
I can't see
snipers would be
I can't fucking see that.
targeting in.
No, fuck that shit. Their job is to look for fucking threat. You know what I'm saying? They're not hearing the commotion 150 yards away. If you watch the video of the people next to the dude, it's like, "Hey, bud, get off the roof." You know, like they're not hearing that 150 yards away. So their job is to look on.
There was a lot of people yelling, dude.
But there was enough.
driving,
There was enough people over there. You'd think one of them would have took notice that something was going on.
But you have to understand, they have earpieces in. Okay,
Yeah.
they have earpieces. They're on a roof that we don't actually know how far away that was to actual Trump. Right? It could have been a little bit. They're not hearing it.
It was 140 feet, 130 feet. It was the same. It was equidistant
Okay.
Yeah.
between the snipers to Trump and between the shooter to Trump. It was like a big fucking triangle, dude.
Okay.
Well, then it came out too.
Why
that-
were they so close looking? What
do you mean?
Video? In the video, they're just like crystal clear. They're right there, right behind Trump.
Well, 150.
Well, go to Twitter, dude. I bookmarked the triangle, and it's on there, and it gives you like how many feet away each person was.
Okay.
But I agree, dude. Like, that's not normal. So something happened on the inside of Trump's team that had this.
Oh no! See,
happen.
no. The snipers were closer to Trump by a long shot, man. Like, you're talking about the distance from Trump to the shooter is the same as the shooter.
Okay.
Yeah, they're right behind.
I was saying,
Trump.
like, no, from the snipers to the shooter, it's the same distance as from the shooter.
But
to
I
Trump.
was talking about them being in close proximity to hearing the crowd. And if you look where they're at, they're not hearing what people are saying. They have no idea what commotion's going on.
they were here. The crowd was like over here.
But
that were saying.
But my opinion
Well,
is,
regardless.
is they're perched on that roof, aiming towards that warehouse or whatever that fucking thing is. There's no
for sure.
Your job is to look for people that are like being suspicious, and there's
That's
a man
true.
on the fucking roof. You take that shot.
That's true. You take the shot of Trump on the stage, which is literally right there. Boom, boom, boom. The cameras are facing this way. You could see the snipers behind him facing this way. They were looking right the fuck at him.
They were. You could see
Yeah,
what
they
they
were
were looking.
looking down their scopes at him.
But there's the video collage. I know Tim Pool shared. I can't remember the group's name that made it, but they took all the videos and they synced them together based off of his speech, and they showed all the different angles timed together. And apparently, it was roughly 2 minutes where people were alerting police officers, alerting CIA that there was a man crawling up the roof with a gun to the time that he shot Trump. And that is too fucking much time.
Yeah, that's a long time. I mean, in that kind of scenario, 2 minutes is an eternity.
It's suspicious, man. But
that's where, like, when you talk about conspiracy, I think there is a conspiracy, but it's within. I think it's an inside job, dude. Like, I don't think that happens on a routine basis with the Secret Service.
The Secret Service came out too and said that they only had the capability of doing a certain parameter of the area, and then the local police force were supposed to secure the area outside of that, like the buildings and stuff outside of that. So they're basically blaming that guy being there on the local police force because they were supposed to have secured the outer perimeter buildings.
That's fucking weird to me because that's like so close to Trump. I mean, that was the closest building to Trump, so you'd think that the Secret Service would be like all over that. But, are you guys still there?
Yeah.
Sorry, I hit my fucking. So what I don't get is that there was a story about a cop who went up to the roof because there was a ladder to this fucking building.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Yeah. Like, you're just gonna let that happen too? But this cop goes up to the roof, sees the guy with the gun, and he didn't have a gun for some reason. I don't know if something just happened in my video, but he said that, like, the story is that he jumped down off the roof because he was like afraid that this guy was going to shoot him, and he didn't pursue the shooter.
I heard that too. Yeah, I heard that he peeked over and he turned and pointed the rifle at him, and he jumped back down.
I didn't hear that he didn't have a gun. I heard that he went up, saw that there was a man there. He turned the rifle to the police officer,
what I heard
and the police officer fled. But my problem is, I would have to imagine, and I don't know for sure, but the Secret Service have to have communications with the police officers who are also in the perimeter.
You would think.
And so why did that cop not say, we have a fucking shooter who just pointed a gun at my ass?
Well, he didn't. If he didn't have a gun, maybe he didn't have a radio.
Well, then he's not a cop. You know what I'm saying? He's not a real fucking cop.
He's a security guy.
Maybe.
That's just not. It's not a good enough. And the other thing that I heard, which I don't know has been validated, was that the snipers were told to stand down, which I don't. I
heard that too.
Believe that. But my problem
there was a forum post where apparently the sniper that was in that video posted on a forum and said, "Hey, my name is," I forget what it is.
I don't think that's true though.
Dude, I think I bookmarked that, but I don't grain of salt.
And
that's
then,
on 4chan.
Yeah, and then he said, "Hey, we were told to stand down and not take the shot." And I don't know.
I don't believe that because I don't think that man is capable of speaking to anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he's probably been somewhere talking about what he saw and what happened. Because what I don't understand, if you're that guy and your job is to eliminate a threat of the president or anybody for that matter, there's a man laying on a roof with a rifle, and in your scope, 130 yards in his scope, he saw that guy's zits on his face, bro. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
You're gonna tell me that you didn't just take that fucking shot? Like, there's no reason for him to be there. He's not dressed as a police officer. Go ahead.
If you listen to the sound of the shots, you can hear the shooter's shot goes off first, but then you hear the rapid pop, 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 pop of the snipers on the roof right behind Trump. Take him out. Right after. So, like, they're already looking at him down the scope.
I don't know if that was rapid shots from the snipers from Secret Service or if it was him rapid shooting after he missed the first one.
No, I think they clipped him pretty quick.
You can see the shooters. You can see the snipers on the roof behind Trump. There's a video of them shooting their guns at the guy, and that's what shot him.
Yeah.
Well, because there was multiple...
The eyewitness guy who had, like, the Trump fucking furry hat on, like the Trump hair. He even said that's exactly what happened. Like, we pointed out there's a shooter. I watched the shooter shoot 5 bullets off at Trump, and then I watched the Secret Service shoot him in the fucking head.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, they shot his head off. And the BBC guy's like, let's be calm. We don't know who's watching this show. So.
Yeah.
No, they blew a hole in the back of his head for sure.
Yeah, they did.
It kind of looked like from the picture they released that was going all over X and stuff. It kind of looked like they shot him right in the mouth.
It did. Because his teeth
probably
his front teeth were gone, and like you could almost see like a cavity in the back of his head.
Well, and that's another thing too. Is like there were bullets that were fired, because I just want to like put that out there. Like I've heard conspiracies like that there were no
Oh,
shots
yeah.
fired at all. And
There were
like,
shots
dude,
fired.
like there was a guy in the crowd. I watched the video of him
Yeah.
being dragged out. Did you
Yep.
see the guy getting
Yep.
shot in the head?
Yeah.
That's sad.
So there was a Trump supporter. He was a firefighter.
There were
You know,
multiple
what's his
people.
name?
There were multiple people that were injured.
Yeah, there was the guy that
Injured.
the guy that passed
This guy
away,
got killed.
and
Yeah,
then
he
there
was
was
killed.
one an older guy that was in critical condition.
Yeah.
And I don't know if how many other people got like nicked or whatever, but
Well, if we're tying
those two
if
people were the
we're
serious
tying
ones.
this all together. That's why the first one that I was talking about, that this was a staged event, is not possible to me. It's just not possible to me. Trump is not. Listen, if he would have if there was random shots and he ducked and he did the whole, like, they covered him up and they ran him off, and you could argue, well, they were just shooting in the air somewhere and it was staged.
Yeah.
But like, that shot is too fucking risky to take. Okay, now I understand that, you could cut his ear, but there's some real good video of that. You can see that bullet whizzing by. Bro.
Oh, yeah.
And they even came
Well,
out and said that it's just glass.
The photo the photo of that bullet. I don't know. I've heard some stories that that's not true. Like that
what?
might be a fake photo of the bullet that's going right by his
Why
head.
are
or
they
his
saying
head.
that it's fake?
I have no idea, dude. I don't know that kind of shit.
Yeah.
But I've just heard okay, well, if that were fake, like his reaction, like let's just take that out of the question. Like his reaction was something just fucking hit in my ear. You know what I mean? Like if you watch Trump, he's going
Yeah.
like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
and then he heard the
instant
next
music.
shot. Yeah,
And when he grabs his fingers, and that's where I was thinking, like, as we were saying, well, if he faked the blood when he was crouched down, he wouldn't have blood on his fingers or his hand before he went down, right? But when he grabs his ear
Yeah, he has blood
and
on
he
his
does
hand.
this, like the finger, like when you're like,
Yeah.
give me that money.
yeah.
He rubs his
He's
thumb
like, what
and
the fuck?
fingers together.
Yeah,
Like he's feeling liquid or something on
Yeah.
his fingers, and then he goes down.
Yeah.
So he felt something. So there was something that happened.
But what's the bullet part?
we got some rants. Danielson, thank you for the rant. He says cops use different radio channels than the Secret Service does,
Sure.
which would make sense while there isn't direct communication, right? And then we got another $20 rant from Havoc Monster.
Nice.
Said, I've been listening to you guys for the last year, and I just wanted to say thanks. Plus, I love hearing the cans pop open.
Damn. Good for you,
Hell yeah,
man.
bro.
You're better than some,
Dude,
because there's some that leave because of it.
Dude, I might steal Havoc Monster as my new porn name.
That's a pretty
that
sick
might
name.
be-
that is a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might have to take that.
You might have to say the Havoc Monster, bro. The one and all.
Exactly.
Great name.
So, like,
dude.
the whole, like, the bullet being fake thing,
Yeah.
it was about, like, if you got nicked by a rifle bullet,
Mm-hmm.
it would definitely explode some of your ear off. Like, you'd
Oh,
be
yeah.
having a chunk, because those are pretty big bullets, dude. And so the argument is when you look at the picture of Trump and he's all bloodied, you can't really see any visible piece of his ear.
That
missing.
wouldn't happen.
Well,
So
we don't know what kind of rifle he used.
Yeah, but that's
It was either a small caliber or it was a bigger one, but because he was a little ways away, it sounded smaller.
They said it was purchased by his dad, so he used it was like purchased in 2003 or 2013, and it was an AR-15 style rifle. We don't know what type of bullets he was using, but
yeah.
RJ did confirm in the Telegram chat that it was like, dude, if that thing whizzes by your ear, just the air alone would cut your ear like a knife.
Yeah. But looking,
So-
yeah, maybe. But looking at his ear, it did look fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Now we have to actually
Pull it
see.
up. Pull up the picture,
Yeah.
because it didn't look that fucked up to me. I mean, it was bloody, but I didn't see any chunks missing. But I mean,
do you have
chaos.
a picture saved of his ear?
I don't know if I do. You'd have to just.
I'll just Google it. Well, the one thing I would
Yeah.
argue, just for the sake of it, that I would argue to what you're saying or why people are saying that bullet speed is so much faster.
There we go.
Yeah. Dude, it looks like it fucking just went right
It
on
went
the side
right.
of his head.
It almost look. It looks like
I
it
don't know,
went
man.
right
That's-
through it.
That looks like it
That's-
went through, bro.
I guess.
Look at that dark spot,
Like
man.
right
It's so
here.
blurry, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're gonna get that, but you can see blood coming.
It looks
into
like
There's
his
other
ear.
pictures where it's not that.
Okay, so try
It's
to
not
find.
that distinct though.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see what's going on. And listen, I think that's a fair assessment. But my point comes down to that bullet speed, the whole idea of the chunk, that's what I'm trying to get at. The chunks flying. That bullet speed is so fast. Okay, when you see that bullet, which at that point that they took the photo is about, it's right behind his head. Okay, maybe like 8 inches, and it's whizzing by at that point. The blood splatter hasn't made it that fast yet. You know what I'm saying? That just hit his ear. You got to understand how fast that bullet's going. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you would have taken pictures for the next, right after that, you might have seen some fucking, a little bit of movement. But that bullet is too close to his head. It whizzed by, and that blood is catching up to the bullet. You get what I'm saying? It's not going to be going as fast as that bullet is going.
True.
So that would be my argument to that. I don't know that it's real, and I really don't. To me, that's not like the big factor for me on it. I guess what it comes down to is I'm not buying that he did this. You're not going to have somebody. I guess that would be the point. But somebody did get shot. Like we can't forget that somebody got it in the head, man.
Oh yeah.
And they were apparently a hero. I want to point that out. His family. Yeah, there's a shot. Yeah, I don't know.
That's
that,
what I'm talking about, doesn't it?
But see that dark spot on the here? There's that circle right there. That's here? Really that whole section. That part.
But how would you get shot right there and not have any of your upper ear missing? You know what I'm saying? Like, how does that work kinetically and like how does physics?
So if you look now, listen, I'm no doctor, but if you look at that point, I don't have the thing there. No, go around right there, down a little bit. See that part right up, that part right there.
Oh, okay.
It is missing a chunk. It looks like it is missing a chunk of the ear.
I'm like
right here.
It looks like it's missing a chunk.
I can see that.
And so it could have hit his, and we all know that the
little cartilage
that we have there. It could have literally just took that chunk.
And I know for a fact, if you rip your ear right there, you bleed like a motherfucker.
Oh, you're gonna bleed bad right there.
I have actually ripped my ear right there before. I crashed on a bicycle and I ripped like this whole top of my ear part off, and they had to like sew it back together.
Nice, dude. I'm sorry calling you Trump.
But I mean, technically, he has his right ear pierced now. So is he gay?
Ooh.
Because that was like the total gay thing to do. Like, you might be gay, dude. That's
I'd say he's pretty badass, dude. I don't know. He just might have switched that one around. He took it back, bro.
It would depend if he put something in that hole.
He took it back. He's like, nah, that whole right ear thing, I'm taking that back. Yeah, that's no longer gay. That's fucking American.
Dude, what if he comes out with like a Trump patch or like some sort of like Trump filler where it just says Trump or like 47.
He just gauges that part of his ear with a Trump head or something.
He's gonna start selling it, dude. Like the prosthetic piece that's missing, the chunk of Trump, dude.
Chunk of Trump.
Trump chunk, dude.
Yeah, the Trump chunk. That's a great sell, dude. $10.
You know what's so fucking sad though? Like there was a company, I saw ads all over X and stuff. There was like selling trading cards of the assassination, like Trump doing the
God.
we're doing this. I'm like, dude, what? Like they're doing anything they can to get a money grab on this.
That's gonna happen. That's a sign of the times, man. Like people were live on Instagram selling shirts that they literally were printing from their printers at the very moment.
Oh yeah,
and just ironing out. Like that's expected.
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, like I'm not convinced that Trump is going to. I just don't. I wouldn't believe it. I don't even like entertaining it. I think what we see is a person who wanted to shoot this guy. Now take that he set this up out of the equation for me. Then you analyze, okay, who's this dude? Why was he in he was in a Blackstone or BlackRock? I mean,
BlackRock
commercial. But dude, hold on. Before we get into that, because like this guy is interesting. Like he's definitely got some interesting shit tied with him. Yeah. But like the conspiracy thing to me, here's how it would have to happen if this were a legit like conspiracy.
Okay.
Like if Trump staged this whole fucking thing, this is how it would have to go down for me. The guy who got shot on the roof was not the shooter. He had a gun, but I don't think he shot him. This is like if the conspiracy was true, which I don't believe.
Okay.
Trump or the Secret Service or whoever was setting this up would have had to hire somebody who is an excellent shot and had the capability of shooting his fucking ear off. And then just shot some motherfuckers in the audience too.
Well, okay, not only
very, very
not only have the capability of only nicking his ear, but timing it so perfectly when he turned his head to not drill him right in the side of the fucking
That's
head.
why I don't even want to entertain it because there's no scenario that it works for me. There's no fucking scenario that it works for me.
That to me is the only way it could have happened because there's no way this fucking 20-year-old kid can have that good of a shot.
Well, no, there was already reports coming out that he was actually on a sniper, like a rifle fucking team or whatever.
He wasn't
at
allowed
his school,
to be on the
and he
rifle
sucked
team.
so bad that he left.
Yeah, they kicked him off the team. Apparently. Apparently.
So that's what I'm just saying. I'm saying like in order for this to be like a setup where it was Trump who did this. He wouldn't. It's too fucking risky, like you said, Dave. Like, there's no fucking way.
No, I'm not buying it, dude. There's nothing about that scenario that I buy. Now, if you want to go into the other stuff, I can start supporting it a bit because I think there's, like you were saying, there's this interesting things about the kid. The Secret Service, I think, is what's interesting. I don't know that it's the entire Secret Service that set something up. I don't believe that.
Nope.
I believe that most of them are good. But the problem, and I've heard this on many shows, just analyzing what people are saying.
The people heading it.
No, it's not even that. It could be.
The person heading the Secret Service right now used to work at Pepsi.
Well, sure, but that's not shocking. It's not shocking. But my point is
too much phosphoric acid.
Like, you couldn't get somebody with some kind of like military experience or anything to run the Secret Service? I mean, come on.
Money, man. There's money to be made. Pepsi makes a lot of money. They need money. Yeah. But I think when you look at everything that happens, and I think this kind of breaks down even past conspiracy theories, right? One person, just one corrupt person can throw this whole thing off. If there was a person who was designated to that area, okay, hey, Bill, you're responsible for this fucking warehouse, man. There's no snipers up there. You better watch and make sure no one's fucking doing it. And that guy is corrupt or has an issue, and he can turn a blind eye, and all of a sudden the whole fucking plan that they all had to keep everybody safe is now in jeopardy. And so it can be as simple as one person.
Look at Uvalde, you look at Nashville, look at all the school shootings that happened.
Yeah.
It's like one head of the police that told the cops not to go in. There was a stand-down order.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, dude, all it takes is a hero. Because, I mean, those two guys on the top of the roof, people are pointing out, like, they had them in the scopes. They were doing other things. But it's like, did they really have this guy
I think
in the
they did. I
well,
think they did.
According to that post he made on the 4chan or whatever, he said they requested multiple times to take him out.
I'm going to say the 4chan thing is BS.
But say it was somebody at the top that was like, say that conspiracy theory is real. There was somebody at the top that was kind of like orchestrating this to make it happen. Or not to make it happen, but to let it happen.
All it takes is some blackmail or some threats to your family.
But you don't think that the good guy that is a Secret Service agent wouldn't have requested, say, hey, I got this fucking sketchy person. He's on a rooftop. We need to take him out now. You don't think that would have even happened at all?
Well, that's the problem is we don't know what the communication pathway is between the local police and the people on the ground and all that stuff, right?
True.
Because the videos that I have seen close to the shooter on the roof, there was a bunch of people who noticed the shooter on the roof before the Secret Service did, right?
Supposedly.
And so they were shouting. They were all like groups of them. They were like, there's a guy on the roof. He has a rifle. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's like, I saw some people behind Trump look over towards where the shooter was, and people like, this is something else that I'm fucking sick of seeing. It's like everybody's paying attention to Vincent Fusco.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever the fuck his name.
Yeah.
JFK Jr. revive.
Yeah.
You know, with the big schnoz and the fucking fedora. But like, they're focusing on these people turning their heads and looking over towards where the people were yelling at. And so I'm thinking, if the people in the audience could hear all of the yelling and the disruption over there, why couldn't the snipers on the roof hear that?
Yeah, but were they? I mean, that's the thing that I'm having an issue with. Like, were they acknowledging people yelling? Seriously.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I would think so.
I know, but here's the thing. We went to the Trump rally. It looks similar setup-wise. He had two giant screens.
Yeah.
I believe he had two screens. I know he had one for sure, but he had, I think, was it one or two? I think it was two.
I don't remember.
He had two screens on the sides of the stage. He always brings up the graphs and references the fucking graphs. So everybody's like looking. We looked like we were behind him. We were like,
well, pull up the video. Let's watch the video because, like, to me, Trump was the only one talking at the time. And so if you hear Trump and then you hear a bunch of people yelling over by the warehouse where the shooter was, your natural reaction is to be like, dude, shut these people up. Why are they fucking talking?
Dude,
Trump's talking.
I know,
You
but
what
listen, I'm telling you, seriously, we sat at the rally behind Trump. We were literally in the same position when we went to the Trump rally.
We were like
literally
where Vincent Fusco was. We were right. We were basically right there. We were up a little bit from him.
I'm telling you 100%, man, with the speakers, Trump's speech going on, which is really loud when you're actually D's in the crowd right now. She's listening, man. She was there. She understands a little bit probably. It's loud. And like what you hear is you hear people randomly out in the crowd of people like, yeah, Trump, you know, or something, and you look over there and you're scanning the crowd and you're looking because there's people that are dressed up and there's people that are wearing and people yelling random things and you're constantly looking around and you're just taking in everything. So if you looked at where we were at with the rally and what would have been 150 yards, which I would argue would be kind of like maybe the entrance of where we came in. Remember, you had to walk a ways to get into the thing. Anybody yelling over
like
there,
where they had the zigzag lines over there.
Anybody yelling over there, I would have never fucking heard it. You would have seriously never heard it. Never.
Not while it was going on.
No, with the amount.
While Trump was speaking?
No, his PA system is really loud.
Dude, that PA system's nice and loud, and there's people chanting and cheering and talking next to you, and like it's conversation. It's like a fucking concert.
If anything, they were like noticing people moving around over there, maybe. But I don't think they could hear them like saying there's a shooter.
Can you find the video of them like saying there's a shooter on the roof and all that stuff, like their cell phone footage and all that stuff?
Yeah, hang on, I saved it back here, I think somewhere.
And then also, it would be interesting to look at the actual video of Trump getting shot at, and then we can look at like the people in the background, like if they're looking. Regardless, it doesn't make. I mean, I'm just saying, the snipers on the top of the roof behind Trump didn't react fast enough.
Yeah, something.
And they had a clear
happened.
Something.
Something happened because and while he's looking, there's that part where they're both looking through the scopes, and then the guy who's closest to Trump, the one that actually took that shot, you see him take the shot. Mm-hmm. He like looks up over the scope for a brief, quick fucking millisecond, then immediately jumps down and takes a shot and like backs, like almost like he was startled by something that he saw. And like you see him like look up and then shoot, and it's like what was that about? Did you see that?
Well, that might have been the recoil of the gun.
No. But why he was in the scope and then he gets off the scope, like he almost wants to see.
Yeah, he was looking at it and then he goes, "Oh shit!" And then the other guy so fast. The other guy moved his whole gun like he had to readjust to even get him in sight.
It was weird. It was a weird thing. It was so fast. It looked like he had somebody in the scope. He had that like the posture of like he's on something, and then he almost like he needed to get out of the scope to see the whole fucking peripheral of what was happening because he looks up and then he shoots, and it's like a fucking those things. Those guys are trained on those guns. You watch any sniper shooting a gun, and you're not going to see them hop backwards. Okay, so something almost like startled him, and he had to take a quick shot. I don't know if that shot was the one that killed the guy. Who knows, right? We don't know. But what did he get off the scope for? Like that's what tripped me
That was
out.
The hesitation. Like that literally.
Do we
the
have
time.
any of this video? Do we have it?
I have
Do we show it?
Hold on. I have the video that shows like them pointing out the guy like
but
a
this
couple
is
minutes
the people
beforehand.
Way away from the.
Yeah, this is just to like show like what we were talking about. Like, look how far away like the screens are from where.
Okay. And this is when they're saying, "There's a guy on the roof."
Yeah, this is when he's like first getting up there. He zooms in. He's right there.
Okay, and then don't they try to like flag down the cops or something?
You hear a couple of people say, like, "Hey."
Yeah, he'll zoom in again, I think.
You got a gun.
So he's right here.
See, he says officer. But who knows if the officer even heard him?
See, I saw.
No one's hearing that shit, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I saw another. No. I saw another video where like they were screaming. They're like, "He has a gun! He has a gun!"
I know, but man, think of like
where in comparison to where they are, just from being at one of these, where they are compared to like where those snipers were, or where Trump is, or where any of those people that were behind him, they're not hearing those.
And
people.
the people that were in the crowd,
Okay, you've convinced me.
No,
we can
move
on from this.
Yeah, no, I think it's important, man. I think it's important. Like, I think
the
that's
only way something could have came of them yelling that is if there was police like right around them.
Yeah, maybe.
Or if there's a lot of commotion and all that stuff, like you said, they would see what's going on. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Well-
Why are all these people freaking out over it?
Yeah, the other part is like, how to your point, there was a ladder. Did he bring that?
Or was it
already
attached
there?
to the building? Yeah.
But like there's the weirdness of it, man. Like, how was there no one around that building that was armed? That was
And there
keeping
was
an eye on
also
it?
something that came out. It was earlier today. Came out that was actually the like the staging area for the tactical police unit. Like before, like when they were setting everything up and like going over their shit. Apparently, they staged at that building. So I don't know how he even got. Like if they were using that as like their checkpoint
Like
area, their head based place. Like how the fuck did he even get up there?
Yeah, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. But like I think some
Do
of
you
this.
have the video of the shooting?
Yeah, I mean, we can pull it up
Of the snipers shooting.
of the guy taking the shot.
Yeah, so that way we can see the bounce back that Dave was talking about.
Yeah, go just
I think
if you don't, I mean, just look up Trump snipers shooting behind Trump.
Something else like conspiratorial that I did find very, very strange is like I've watched pretty much every single Trump rally, and I pay attention to the signs and stuff, and all of the signs said like "Find you're fired," and "fired" was like in big bold letters, and so I'm like, oh, fired, like
Right
a gunshot was fired.
Yeah,
Whoa!
yeah,
what are the odds?
here are them actually taking the shot. Sorry if it's not like super big, but
And you know, that's a little
He
bit
pops
old,
up.
That shot's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something
they're both
that's,
looking down the
take
scopes.
a look
He
what
pops
happened.
up. Boom, boom, boom.
You see him like shake.
Yeah.
He looks up and I'm not saying he got a bad shot off per se, but he almost seems startled. So he prairie dogs. Whoop,
Pops up.
pops up, and then watch his gun when he shoot. He
It goes
aims
up.
it up. He aims it up, and then keep going a little bit, and then it gets readjusted. Boom, and he kind of like it keeps going down. The barrel's going down as
Like
he takes the shot.
he had a recoil and it fucked his balance.
It was
up.
not a great shot. I mean, I don't know if he hit the guy, but that doesn't look like a great shot.
Yeah, I don't know if it was him that hit the guy or if it was him that hit the guy.
But this is a great video to go what we were just talking about. You can hear how loud it is in that crowd. If people were yelling, you would think it was just part of the crowd.
Yeah.
Like I don't think that there would be a distinguishing.
Yeah.
Shot's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Yeah. It's interesting, man. It's interesting. I think the weird one to me. Tell me if you guys have heard this, but they were saying this kid because he was a troubled kid. He had a lot of troubles.
Well, he shouldn't have been.
He was picked on. I think he was seemingly. It seemed like he might have been a little off, slow, have mental issues. Both his parents supposedly
Or were counselors.
are counselors for the state, if I'm not mistaken. They
Imagine
popped
that.
but there are obviously the conspiracy that goes into the.
This
fact
kid
that-
should have been the poster child of like their field.
I don't know. But there's some people that the MK Ultra. I've heard that one multiple times. That this kid was the perfect candidate. That the big plan was they were going to use this kid. He was going to take the shot. They were going to sacrifice this kid, okay, and kill him. But they needed that shot to be fired by this dude. You know what I'm saying? To orchestrate this whole thing.
And then I would say, like, dude, if he had counselors, did he have like a psychotherapist or like a psychiatrist
Well, it
where
would-
he's getting these meds?
I think that's kind of what his parents were. I don't
they
know.
were psychiatrists?
I don't know if they
No,
were.
they were just
I don't know counselors. So I don't know what their like degree was.
I have no idea.
But they called them both counselors. So whether that's for they both worked at a school or they were actually therapists.
A lot of
people.
counselors are fucked up people themselves.
That's true.
I want to be very clear.
That's true.
I believe that to be true. I feel like you have to have gone through some shit to be able to.
But there
relate to
hasn't
people
been
with some
anything
shit.
released whether he was like in like therapy or on any medications. So
I don't know.
Dude, I saw a video of him like freaking out at like a Trump supporter. Or he
That
was
wasn't real.
freaking out on camera.
That wasn't real.
That wasn't him.
No, that was in Ohio. Apparently, that was in a different state a long time ago. So it was one of those stupid videos that was going around that had nothing to do with that kid. It looked like him. I mean, he had the long hair, but
Dude, Well, what's with the guy in the blue shirt and the glasses that says that he's like Thomas whatever Crooks, and he's like,
So-
you got the wrong guy.
Apparently, there's a kid that's still posting at this point. That dude, and it looks like him. If you look at side profiles, they have the weird fucking like underbite or overbite, the fucking hair, and people were using that as well because he came out and said, "I hate Republicans, I hate Trump. You got the wrong guy." You know,
You got the wrong guy.
I don't know, man. I don't
And
know.
it's like, what?
Yeah, I don't know anything about that, but I don't know, man. I mean, I think for me, the past couple of days have been processing it, and processing it. I mean, we not just us. Obviously, this is not like some groundbreaking information, but this has been foreseen for a long time. Like this event has been foreseen for a long time. I'm actually shocked that this didn't happen in his first presidency, to be honest with you. I mean, the dude is so despised by the left, and the rhetoric that kind of surrounds the whole thing. It's no wonder that somebody took this too far. So if you take away all the nonsense of like what may or may not have happened, and I think I don't say nonsense in the frame of I don't believe some of this is weird, or that we won't find that there's some inside work done, or somebody knew that this was happening, they didn't want to, they turned a blind eye to it.
Biden last week did say that it was time to put Trump in the bullseye.
Well, yeah,
It's true, and he deleted the tweet, but it wasn't him who tweeted it though, so he doesn't.
That's
tweet,
true.
right?
That's
he
true.
doesn't tweet. So that's what I'm saying. When you really start to think about it for days after you let it cool down, you have to be honest. And what we
I think he actually said that in his word, and they quoted him in an actual article.
They quoted him. That was from a inside meeting that they supposedly quoted. Now, we also acknowledge that that Biden can't speak a fucking fluid sentence. So if you want to be, if we're being honest about the situation, do I find that offensive? I don't take that the same way I think a lot of the media is taking it. Should he have said it? No. I think the biggest tell for that is that words mean something, and when you can't speak freely, what I think he wanted to say was, we need to focus on Trump now, get over the debate, we need to put all our focus towards Donald Trump, and we need to beat Donald Trump. That's what I think he probably meant. But when you say things like bullseye,
And then he gets shot.
that's the reason we go to World War III.
Yeah.
Because you can't go to Russia and say we're going to put Putin in a bullseye, because they're going to take that as a threat, even if you didn't mean it to be one. And so,
choice of words
like,
are important.
People were sharing the whole Alex Soros meme, or his like tweets where he had like the bullet hole and then the $47.
Yeah, we
side
talked
by
about
side.
that a while back. Yeah.
So I'm like, dude, like the whole bullseye thing, it's the same thing where if you have like some rhetoric where it's like, fight, or like you said, we got to fight. And then the left was just like, he was saying fight. So it's physically, or like when Trump says it's going to be a bloodbath if he doesn't win, right?
Yeah.
That's
People
why
are going, so it's going to be a bloodbath, right?
Exactly. And that's why I don't put much stake in it, because people say things. People use references.
Exactly.
I think there's plenty of evidence over the past fucking 8 years of rhetoric that did mean something. Calling him Hitler over and over, a Nazi, a person that's going to destroy our democracy, a person that's going to put us in camps and kill every legal like
No fucking wonder somebody took a shot at him.
Yeah, that's the shit that's been repeated over years. I'm not singling it out to one single sentence that Joe Biden said. This is a cumulative. Go ahead, man.
To your point, though, like it's been a lot worse. Like I've seen a lot worse. Like the whole Kathy Griffin holding up the fucking severed head of Donald Trump.
Yep.
You had like fake Donald Trump assassinations in plays. You had like Donald Trump being shot in a Snoop Dogg video. I mean, this stuff's been going on for a while. And to your point, Dave, it's like, I'm surprised this hadn't happened much sooner. And I'm also surprised that Trump's still alive. Like, that's my whole thing with this whole, if they really are a super powerful deep state, why wouldn't they just off the guy?
Well, and that's the thing is I do think, and that's one of the issues I have, and I've seen Bongino and I've seen a bunch of people that have some more knowledge about how Secret Service works and how it should work. And obviously there's questions. I think those hopefully get answered, but you also have the FBI going to be running the shit, and we don't trust them either. So will it be answered? Yeah. Probably not. But what I'm trying to say is this: I feel like through the history of Trump being president, and then even after presidency, it seems like the Secret Service have done them well. You know what I'm saying? Like, they do their job. We've seen a few different instances where people, attempted to do something. The man rushing the stage, right? And they were able to get that guy taken care of. There was also that situation where the guy, and that was on video, where one of the attendees of the rally went and grabbed a police officer's gun out of his holster and was going to try to use that. They stopped him quickly. Yeah. So this is the closest we've seen.
Yeah, but if the Secret Service was the problem now, which, I mean, the roads are kind of leading us down to there might have been some sort of problem with the Secret Service.
I don't know.
Why wasn't there ever a problem back then? You know what I mean?
Well, because first of all, he was president, and he had the full backing of
the
Secret
full
Service. Right?
Force.
I think, and
dude, I don't know. I think he still has. I think like all ex-presidents still have quite a bit of Secret Service.
I think they probably have a limited detail.
It's interesting if we can look that up, because I this is not some area that I've ever looked into.
But even just before he was president, like as he was running, like the whole rhetoric of him being a Nazi and all this shit, like I'm surprised it never happened there when he didn't even have Secret Service.
Well, here I'm gonna be honest, man. I think in hindsight we don't remember everything that happened 5 or 6 years ago. You know what I'm saying? We recall the events and we remember them being rough. But I think if you really take a step back and you go back into 2016 or 15 even, right, when he was running, Trump was considered not going to be the president, right? They didn't take him seriously. They called him all the names that you just said. Yeah. But he wasn't a serious candidate. They did not believe he had a chance.
They didn't think he was going to win at all.
And so in that first campaign, yes, he got momentum. He beat everybody out, and then all of a sudden became more of a threat. But they didn't think he stood a chance with Hillary. So most of the supporters that hated him just hated him. They just said, no, he's a fucking sexist piece of shit, pig, but Hillary's going to beat him. I don't think that the rhetoric has got, to your point, Greg, has got as bad as it has until late in the game. Even like mid first term, where people, they started impeaching, and then they started accusing him of crime and pissing on hookers. I think that's where the fuel was really starting to burn, and people were like, holy shit.
The pissing on hookers one still makes me laugh.
But he had power. He was president, and he had power, and things were happening. And then we got sidetracked with COVID. So you got to understand that COVID distracted a lot of people away from Trump. Even though they hated him, we had bigger fish to fry in our own communities, right? Because we were trying to deal with that shit. But then he goes away. He starts losing a little bit of support. We talked about that. And then it all came back when they kept the fucking shit going. Because the Democrats chose to keep this fucking train going. They wanted to prosecute him. They wanted to make him a criminal. And then his base starts getting riled up. And now the left's like, holy fuck, we're actually going to lose. Like, this is not looking good. And so now, over the past maybe 6 months, we've seen an excessive amount of him being a criminal, of him being a person that's going to cause nuclear war, all of this shit.
But then all of a sudden, this happens. He gets shot in the ear, literally millimeters from death. And now things are almost just flipping the other way. There's 2 cases over the weekend that have been dismissed.
Dude, that's my whole thing. Is like, who benefits from this?
Trump does,
and he always benefits from any retaliation that the left tries to throw at him.
Yeah.
And they know this, dude. There's no way that they don't know this. They're not fucking dumb people. Like, the people in I hate saying deep state now because it's so fucking washed.
Yeah.
But the deep state is not dumb. So why would they keep attacking Trump if they know it's going to help him get elected?
Well, here's the problem. And it's something that we really haven't, I don't think, discussed. There may be the deep state. I think we've all seen that there's some kind of a shadow government deep state, right? You can call it the cabal, whatever you want to call it. There's something going on above everybody else. Mm-hmm. Okay? The issue is just like in any company or any business or any fucking friends group, you may all have a plan, okay, of action. Let me give you an example without getting too detailed. This is a good example. We had an issue at work where we had a customer, okay, and he was stealing. We knew he was stealing. We had proof that he had been stealing from us a lot.
Son of a bitch.
And this is Biden stealing the election.
No. Okay, yeah, good point. I like that. But here's what my point is we had multiple people, and we knew that he was coming in. We knew that it was the day he was going to come in, and we knew that he steals. And so I got everybody around on the floor, and I said, listen, this guy's coming in. Okay, we're going to watch him. We're going to follow him around a little bit. We're going to ask him if he's doing good, and we're going to let him steal. And then I have all of our cashiers ready to go. He's going to bring up the stolen goods because he hides them. And we're going to catch him, and I'm going to boot him from the store and call the police. Boom.
You just explained the plan, Dave.
That was the plan. I explained the plan to everybody. That was the plan. What happened is we all did what we were supposed to. He started stuffing a box as planned. Mm-hmm. And then one of our associates went rogue on me and fucking grabbed the box off the guy's cart, opened it up, and was like, "You're stealing from it." And he blew the whole fucking plan. So why I say that? The deep state is...
Because you were dealing with amateurs.
Yeah, probably. But so is the deep state. You have so many factions of these people in the Democratic Party. There's no way they can control them all. So maybe the deep state didn't want this to happen. Maybe they didn't want all this shit to go down. But then you got your Nancy Pelosi who's rogue. Or you have your fucking AOC who's going rogue on you. And you have these DAs that are going rogue on you. And you
every single time?
Yeah, but how many people?
Every single time?
How many people? No, I think that they did this to themselves most of the... I think they've learned... I don't think they wanted this. I'm just being honest.
But I'm just saying, like, 100% of the time, it swings in favor of Trump.
Of course it does.
That's improbability, dude.
Of course it does. What, dude? Come on. I'm being real. How do you think that it doesn't? How do you think it doesn't? Like, Trump is such a huge figure who people really do love. I mean, people love Donald Trump, man. Okay.
Yeah, they love him to the point where if he actually did do something wrong, they wouldn't believe it now. Because it's been boy who cried wolf so many times from the media, the left.
That's possible.
CIA.
But also you say that, but the truth is they still are looking at his cases, right? Like if he did something wrong right now, let's say he legitimately did a crime. Like they're still going to prosecute and try to figure it out and look at it. The problem is they keep looking at this shit and they're not finding anything.
Dude, that's because all of the cases are bullshit and they know it.
I know, but you don't.
That's my point. It's like, why would they set up this bullshit case when they know they're going to have to either drop it or they're going to lose it, just like they did like
because
the two cases that Christmas is talking about.
It's a plan that's failed. It's a plan that's failed. They thought that if they could keep them off the trail,
so then they're really dumb then.
Well, it's because it's just the whole media concept with it is you can get the narrative out there for just long enough. You've created the damage already. But the problem is their narrative doesn't get very far anymore because nobody trusts the outlets that they use. They've lost that avenue. So now,
but my point is like they would notice this. They have metrics. They have insight. They would see that their trust is gone down.
But what else do you do?
That's what I want to get. What
they always think of something to do.
Yeah, but to your point, they always think of something to do that's stupid. And and I want to be clear.
Is it though?
I want to be clear. I said no, they're not stupid. They absolutely are stupid to some extent because they're doing a broken record right now. They keep doing the same game plan that's not. It is favoring Trump. So I don't understand why you keep the process going when one conviction didn't work and boosted his rates, and you keep convicting knowing that it's boosting your rate. Yeah. I don't get it. I don't get that.
It's the definition of insanity. It's like you're doing the same thing over and over again. And you're expecting a different result, but it's not going to happen. It's like you are ushering in Trump to the White House by attacking him.
I know,
and no one will believe you if he actually does do something.
But let me ask you, in all seriousness, man, to what Chris said and what I was going to say is, what do you do? Your options are limited, man. You know that attacking.
Be honest and tell the truth.
Well, come
Just be like, hey, look.
Well, then you definitely lose.
No, do you?
Yeah.
Or do you save face and you go, oh shit, like they're actually not telling me a lie, and okay, yeah, I can see that. You admit where you're wrong here and there, and then there's ways to fucking slow roll it, dude. You do kind of like. This is a bad example because he's a fucking turd, but Chris Cuomo, he had that debate with what the fuck's his name? Dave Smith.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Completely got obliterated. But he had the option, dude. He had so many opportunities to say, you know what? I was wrong. And the audience wanted it. They were sitting there begging for him just to be like, dude, come on. Like people were saying that in the audience. You can hear him. Come on.
Well, that's when it comes in. There's a huge problem with both sides, but I feel like it's more with the Democratic side where they have almost too much of an ego for their Democratic Party to actually admit when they have done something wrong or purposely done something wrong, and then will never come back on it. And Trump has the problem too, but they've definitely shown that they've had that problem way more.
I just am like confused.
That's what they do then. I mean, that's if you ask like what else do they do? That get rid of the ego. Let's calm it down. Let's start telling the truth.
I know,
but
what could they possibly? I know, but if they come out and they say, I'm just trying to think of any scenario that works, right? So they come out and they say, yeah, you know what? The economy was actually pretty good under Trump. It was not a bad economy.
Oh, then you fucking suck. We're not voting for you.
Well, you don't think Trump takes that and fucking runs with it, man? Like the Democrats admit that I have a great economy. Like what can you do to overcome it? Like the man is not like any other man. You know what I'm saying? He's an anomaly in himself. It's almost like an indestructible force. And I don't mean that to be super hyperbolic, but we've seen it, man. They shot at him. Fucking, he stood up and fucking pumped his fist like he was in the fucking 1970s. Like, what are we doing? How do you fucking stop it? Without a straight up, like a straight up gunshot to the back.
He's protected by God, dude. He's protected by Jesus Christ.
Dude, I mean, listen, if I was him, I got in a car wreck and I all of a sudden was like, dude, I need to get myself right. Like, it doesn't
Did you guys see that? There's a guy who predicted, like, this was three months and 3 days before the shooting.
33.
This fucking prophetic, whoever the fuck this guy was, he was like, I had this premonition that Donald Trump, he would get shot at, the bullet would whiz by his ear, and it would blow his eardrum out. And he said, after this happened, Trump would become uber religious and just start spitting fucking like, we got to get God back in here. We got to bring Jesus in here. And he's going to become super religious. So I'm curious to see if
that part happens.
Listen, 100,000%. I'm serious. Like 100,000. Listen, if you and we talked about this.
Yeah, you said that it happened to you in your car crash.
We talked about this. When you deal with a near death experience, and I gotta admit, like if everything is the way that it seems, and that whizzed by his ear with millimeters of hitting an artery,
if he would have turned his head,
okay,
a second later, he'd have been dead.
You have to think that man in his own head is like, I almost died. I should have been dead. Like, had I not just moved a little bit, I would have been absolutely dead.
Well, there was a Republican guy who said that Trump was quoted saying, that chart saved my life because I turned my head to look at the chart.
Yes. But you understand, though, that like any person that has, and obviously it's not every person, but most people that have a situation where they almost die, a lot of people go like, what am I doing with my life? What am I doing? Like, I need to have God. Like I did. When I got in the car wreck, I literally was like, I felt, for sure, dude. I felt safe, dude, man.
I think it's going to happen too. And I think he's going to help Israel rebuild the third temple. I think there's a lot of stuff that's going to happen. Dude, like,
I don't know anything. I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. We'll look into it, bro.
Yeah.
Let's look into it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think that having a president who actually believes in God is a bad thing by any means.
No,
I think
it's like there's a lot of people who think that he was anointed by God, and like, why wouldn't he be protected by God if he was anointed by? And like one of the first things that he shared on Truth Social was like him with Jesus behind him as the bullet was whizzing past that, like with his hands on his shoulders.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, he's already kind of going there. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely dabbled in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think he's ever come out like
dabbled in it.
Yeah. I think a lot of it. I don't know. I'm not him. I'm not his family.
Like dabbled in religion.
Yeah, I think he's definitely used it. I'm not gonna say that he is not religious because I don't fucking know. I don't know his personal shit like that. I don't know that he goes to church or he really has been into, or if he's just catering to like a branch, that he wants to get more votes from. I mean, let's be honest. But he does talk about it, and I've heard him reference the Bible. I don't know. Who knows? But like the picture, I don't know. Like, is it that like egregious to me? No.
He was asked like, "What's your favorite passage from the Bible?" He goes, "All of it. It's so good. I love all of it." But I'm like, dude, you don't fucking read the Bible.
I know, but listen, I to be fair, I don't think I think that's his answer to most shit. What's your favorite country? They're all great. They're all fucking great. Who do you want to win, Ukraine or Russia? I just want them to stop dying. I just want them to stop dying. Okay. I'm just saying he's a vague human being, bro. And so
when it comes to answering questions,
when it comes, like he will.
Well, that just means that he has a very limited knowledge on the subject. Can we admit that? Like, just say, like, look, like, I admire the Bible. I don't have a favorite passage, but the whole book has really led me to where I'm at right now.
Maybe,
like, I feel like there was a lot that Jesus spoke and did that I admire, and I feel like I want to walk in the same shoes.
Yeah. Listen. Sure. Absolutely, man. But the problem I have is I'm not him. I'm not anybody around him. You get what I'm saying? And so with that said, Trump's character is that. When you ask him about a fucking anything, he will always kind of give this vague answer about how good he did at doing it, and he knows the whole thing. This one topic, what if he does? What if he has read the Bible multiple times? What if he actually does know passages, but he's just not spitting them out? When does he do it? He doesn't even spit facts out about war and shit or about an event that's going on. He just doesn't do it. He kind of
That's true.
You know, North Korea is he's a great fucking leader. You know what I'm saying? He's a smarter man than you all think he is.
He's a fierce leader.
Yes.
Fierce leader.
That's just his character. So what I'm saying is I don't think you're wrong or right. I have no idea. I don't know, but I don't want to just assume that he's not religious. I think that's not right to do, is to assume that he's not a religious man. He's conning everybody on religion.
I don't think that he's not religious. I just don't know if he's a Christian. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's a lot of non-Christians out there.
Yeah,
so
but
I just think that
pandering is wrong. Pandering is wrong. So if he wasn't religious at all and he's pandering to a crowd to say he is, that's wrong to me. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you're selling people a fake thing. But I get what you're saying at the whole thing. And Ash 23.
Yeah, holy crap! Thank you
so
very
much,
much, Ash, for that donation. $50.
That's awesome.
So
Man.
only God is going to save this nation.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong, Ash. I really, because at the end of the day, listen, you can think what you want and you can believe what you want, and there's levels of faith, right? Some people are very religious. Some people are slightly religious, but at the end of the day, I think we can all acknowledge that what religion does for some people is giving you a moral grounds. It gives you a platform to kind of like build your life upon, which in all is pretty good. And we've lost that. We have lost religion in the country. And I think what we've seen is moral, the moral value that we all loved and respected this country has gone to the shitter because people they don't care about other people. They don't give a shit about their neighbors. They don't fucking care about relationships and loved ones.
Yeah, looking at libertarianism, like you can't have libertarianism without morality first. If you don't have morality as an individual, there's no way you will collectively do the right thing.
Yeah.
And so libertarianism has to be like a foundation on morality. Where do you get that morality from? And where can everybody agree on a standard set of rules? That's where religion comes in. It standardizes and sets the playing field for your morality.
Yeah. Agree. And that may be where Trump's at, right? Like, I am not a person that goes to church every weekend. I'm not going to speak to you guys. I don't go to church every Sunday. Okay. But I believe that there God exists. I believe that there are lessons to be learned from the Bible. You know what I'm saying? I believe that it is a good path towards how you should live your life and who you should be honoring and stuff. But there's variations to that. I don't speak of that all the time like I know a lot of people do. So to my point is I don't know that Trump isn't religious or isn't that. I don't know where we got on this kick per se, but
for sure.
Because Trump's the Antichrist.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's that mortal head one. But so here's the deal: like he could be religious on a multiple thing. Like I don't care if he's Christian, I don't care if he's Muslim, I don't care if he's Jewish.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like he has influence via whatever religion he has. Now I think it's going to become more prominent because of this near-death situation. So we'll see. I'm
curious on how. I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. I just am curious on how much of a stake that actually is going to. Because I got to be real with you. Like in the moment, yes, but like that can fade if you're not a person that actually gets it. Like it can fade a little bit. How much of it is it going to affect his policy? I don't know. I still want to see him go after people. So if he's going to be like, I forgive everyone that treated me bad. I forgive. No, that's not. That's not happening, bro. That's not going to happen. So I'm just saying, like, listen.
He'll be more like the old Bible guy, like eye for an eye type of shit.
Maybe shit, dude. But I know we're wrapping up. I there's more to be said, and that will be said on the next show. But real quick,
let's switch gears real quick.
What's your guys' take on JD Vance, man, as the man who's going to be?
Well, hold on, real quick. What? Before we get off the assassination thing, like, what do you think's going to happen next?
Okay, well that's fair. That's a fair question.
Like now that the assassination is done, what's the next fucking thing? Like,
yeah, dude.
I mean, this one was if this was. It depends how you want to look at this. Are we just saying, hey, what's the next event that's going to happen? Or what's the next tactic the deep state is going to take to try to stop him?
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm looking at, I think if you're going to take out Biden, now would be. I don't want to say this
Jesus,
because
man.
it sounds like I want this.
Fuck.
But if you were looking at this from a strategic standpoint, this would be the time to take out Biden, because you could blame it on a Trump supporter being like Biden supporters, or Biden's the reason why this fucking thing happened. So we're going to let this thing happen. I mean, the guy, Thomas Crooks, was a registered Republican, right? So they're already trying to put that angle out there.
But that's not, we know that that's not the case.
Yeah. So Alex Jones came out, and I know Alex Jones is Alex Jones, but he was saying that they're going to try to assassinate or not successfully assassinate Joe Biden. And then they're going to try to do this again to Trump. And who knows what's going to happen to Trump. So he's saying like it's going to escalate to the point where you're going to have both sides, both candidates are going to be at risk. You know what I mean? So is there going to be an attempt on Biden here soon? That's what I'm asking.
And your opinion is yes, right?
My opinion is I hope not, but I'm leaning more towards I think it's probably going to happen than it shouldn't.
Well, I want to be clear, just so everybody understands. Like, I have always said this. We've all said this. Like, I don't wish death upon anybody.
No.
And
Absolutely.
I despise Joe Biden. I despise Kamala Harris. But I also would never want to see that happen. No one should want that to happen.
Sick. It's sick. Like when you have Jack Black saying like you missed, everybody's saying like,
yeah,
that's fucking bullshit, man. Yeah, it's fucking, it's disgusting.
I did see on that. I did see someone on X said they were starting a lawsuit, a class action lawsuit against everyone that has said that.
Oh, that was fake.
Is it fake?
Yeah, it's. They were saying we're going to try
like
maybe
anti-First Amendment.
They're trying to go the same route as the Alex Jones thing,
Yeah.
where they're like, we're going to try to get $1 billion.
Yeah, for everyone that said this whole thing was fake, and like or even the people that
yeah. I mean,
it's gross, but I don't think it's worth a lawsuit.
No.
But.
And again, we can just not support their movies, right?
I don't know. I like we've said it for a while now. This year is going to be crazy, and obviously it's getting crazier by the day. So
I don't think anything happens. If you want,
you don't think anything else happens?
Well, I don't think anything in the short term here before election is going to happen. I don't believe that. I've heard that take before, where this is a prime opportunity that they could take advantage of the situation. Sure, but I think with the way social media is and how fast people are digging on shit, I think that is harder than it would have been in like the 1960s. You know what I'm saying? Where there's a retaliation. I think it's going to come out that I just think it would be harder to get away with at this point. And
true.
I think, and I've said this, and I'll continue to say this. Before this even happened, I said who you bring in and how much time is left, and who's going to want to step into this role. Gavin Newsom, Big Mike. No one wants to step in right now, okay? Because the momentum's obviously shifting one way. And you don't want to be the person who...
And it just shifted gears.
It shifted gears. You don't want to be the person who steps into a guaranteed losing campaign, right? I'm not trying to be high. Maybe it's not guaranteed, but you get my point. You're going up against a big uphill battle. So I don't see Gavin Newsom wanting to jump into this, because he would rather just wait it out, let Trump do his 4 years, and then go after J.D. Vance, right? If J.D. wants to become president or whoever's next in line. He has a full campaign to go after him. He has material for over the next 4 years, what happens, what doesn't happen, and he can actually have a fair chance, right, at winning. No one wants to step into this. So I think my personal take is I feel like at this point, all things have failed. They're going to still continue to try to prosecute him, and I think they just succeeded to the fact that Joe Biden is probably it, and they're probably fucked. That's what I think. I think they're
like
fucked.
we can't even kill the fucking guy.
They're fucked. What do you do? Hey, so now I've heard from like other people, like Nancy Pelosi, saying we need to unite around Joe Biden. It's not the time to be throwing new people in. We need to unite around. Now I don't believe that she's serious about it, but she's
too drunk to be coherent.
She's saying it, and maybe that is what they do. Maybe they say, hey, we just have to play this out, and if he wins, great. And I think he's going to lose. And how do you beat the train? The train is moving at full speed right now for Trump. It is moving on hyper speed, especially with what just happened. And who's going to do it? I don't see anybody.
Yeah,
to do
but
it, man.
I don't see him. I don't see him stop fighting.
They're not going to stop, but you also have to understand that like you're getting your ass knocked around for 9 rounds. Like you're probably not winning the fight unless there's some weird knockout. And that knockout, we just saw an attempt at a knockout that didn't happen. He got right back up, started fighting again. And then, of course, in Trump fashion, he pumps his fist, fight, 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 and it's a fucking statue.
Yeah.
It's a statue fucking moment.
But
That
You know
is
what
a
I'm
that
saying?
is a
It's
statue moment.
It's
Dude.
a statue.
So right before this all happened, though, you had the media do a 180 on Joe Biden. How bad the debate was, how bad he's, going downhill. He has Parkinson's, people are saying.
Yes.
So it's like they want him out for a clear reason because they know he's not going to win.
Yeah.
So you're saying like they wouldn't bring in somebody because it's like a waste of a good hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it's a waste of a card. You don't want to pull that right now.
Yes. I think that, and I also think that what you're talking about is previous to what just happened on Saturday. Their plan, I think, was, listen, if we can get somebody in here, we have a chance. We have a fucking chance. But then somebody fucking dropped the ball and decided they were going to go after Trump in a way of assassination attempt. And at that point, you go, motherfucker, we are fucked. You know what I mean? Because you can't beat it. You could have brought somebody in, maybe.
There was a fucking TikTok going around of this girl. She was like doing this thing, and she was going back and forth with herself, but she was playing two different people.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, did you see Trump got shot?" And he goes, "He got shot." And he goes, "Yeah, he got shot." And he was really cool about it. He's like, "How do you be cool while getting shot? What did you like jump up and raise his fist and say USA USA?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's exactly what he did."
Yeah.
And she goes,
fight,
"Oh,
fight.
that is really cool. We're gonna lose this election, aren't we?"
Dude, I'm telling you, he won a lot of people over. I'm telling you, that particular scene won a lot of people over. It did. It fucking did. Because there's one guy, and this is what there's one guy, a Democrat, who's like, or I don't even know if he's a Democrat. He's like, listen, I've hated Trump since the very beginning. I still don't like the man. Mm-hmm. But when he did that, okay, there was a fire inside my gut that was like, fucking, I love this fucking country. And I feel like you can hate the guy, but you cannot deny that the dude, listen, I watched Holyfield get his ear bitten off by Tyson. I watched that fight, and that guy was stomping his feet and fucking screaming like he fucking was dying.
Yeah.
And Trump just took one in the ear, fucking was like, "Where's my shoes?" Like that's a fucking quote of the century too.
Where's my shoes? And then wait.
How do you know you're a man?
Pump his fist in the air and yelled, "Fight!"
You almost die, and you ask where your shoes are. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a fucking man right there. But listen, I and honestly, people like that strength. And he could have said he's strong and all this, but when you have UFC fighters saying that, dude, fucking A, this is brilliant. When fucking one of the Paul brothers is saying like that might be the coolest fucking thing I've ever fucking seen. I'm sorry. Good luck bringing Newsom in. Good luck, And also, Greg, to your point, what if they do an attempt? You don't think that people are going to fucking lose their motherfucking minds
if it happens again?
People are going to
that's
say
what I'm saying.
no.
Well, so that's the only thing. So this is what I'm saying. Like the only thing they have is societal collapse. Tear the whole fucking thing down. Like throw the baby out with the bathwater. That's the only way they can win. Like they know they can't win, so let's just burn this fucker down.
I don't know if it burns it down. I'm not sure that it burns it down if it doesn't build it up. Honestly, I think you get more. I think most of the country, if there was a second attempt, would be wrapped around Trump at that point. I think that their arms would be around him, and you can't burn down what everybody agrees on. So they can try to burn down the cities, but the massive people at that point would say, no, there's something going on. Even if you don't buy it from this particular event, if there was a second one, or if Biden even had an attempt, people would start questioning
At that point, you at least have 150 million people pushing against you.
Man, dude, I don't know.
Or you get martial law. One or the other.
But even then, if they created some kind of thing where they just, oh my god, this is absolute fucking chaos, we have to declare martial law and get this in order. If that happens, you still have at least 150 million people that are going to push against you because they know what's fucking going on now.
We'll see.
JD
Vance, what real quick, good or bad? Good or bad? Just to land on it. Good or bad?
Honestly, I don't know that much about him.
All right.
I saw a lot of people like just going, "Oh, dude, really? Like JD Vance?" But I'm like, I don't know.
Good story.
I mean, he's like really new into politics, so he doesn't have a lot of history. But
I do
Peter
know
Thiel, I guess, gave him a lot of money.
I do know up until recent, like the last year or so, I think he was very against Trump.
Yeah, he called him Hitler.
Yeah.
He called him an idiot and compared him to Hitler.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know a lot about him.
Dude,
he seems to be.
He's a Marine. He's a fucking
He's
Marine.
ex-military.
He had a crackhead mom, a dad who was not there. He fucking was poor as fuck. He went to Ohio State University, graduated, went to Marines first, then Ohio State, then he went to law school, I believe it was, Harvard or whatever the fuck it was, Yale, actually. And he seems like he's like just an American dude. It seems like his policy is pretty much in line with Trump's. And so to me, it's not some shocking thing. And it's just, it is whatever, he's young. That might be a thing. He's a good speaker.
I don't know that much about him.
Yeah,
I definitely want to hear. I think he was supposed to speak tonight at the RNC. I didn't catch whether he had yet or not.
He did when I watched. So,
so I definitely want to hear.
You should watch the band that introduced him. It's pretty entertaining.
The band?
Is it bad or good? Like, just be honest.
Oh, the band.
It's pretty bad, dude.
Okay. The band they have playing they've had them playing the whole time.
It's like
all day long.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, RC, we got Journey, the cover band. Woo!
Yep.
All right, Greg. Hey guys, we appreciate you. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for the chats and whatever. I don't even know what that's called in Rumble, but we appreciate all the money coming in.
Rumble rants.
Thank you guys.
Yes.
Be safe. Be good, man.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you on Wednesday. Well, we'll be live on Wednesday.
There we go.
So,
all right.
Thank you, everybody.
Peace.
Like Dave said, thank for the chats. Thank for the support. Join us on Patreon if you're not. We got call-in shows on Fridays.
Yes, sir.
Later, everybody.